Hi guys, I'm Kelsey Theis and I am your Northeast District reporter. So I'd like to start off by welcoming you all to the 2020 Green Hand Conference. I know this isn't the typical way we would get to interact and meet each other, but I'm glad you all stepped up and decided to participate, and I hope you learned something, and I hope this inspires you to get involved in FFA, and I hope it does something to better yourself for the future. So to start, you should have this piece of paper that you guys should have printed off, and then I want you to have 2 pieces of notebook paper to write on and something to write with. And then there's going to be a few times in this video that I will pause and give you time to write something down, and if that's not enough time, feel free to pause the video and play it again when you're ready. Just take however much time you need. So my workshop is going to be over SMART goals, and just to begin explaining goals and why they're important to me, I was never someone that really wrote down my goals or really held myself accountable until my freshman year. And I had a history teacher who on the first day, we just discussed goals and why they were important. And I took a lot away from that I think has helped me get to where I am today. So something we kind of talked about there was, he asked us why people don't reach the goals that they set. And something that I got from that was, I don't think enough people know how to really set a proper goal, and then they don't have a system that keeps them accountable and makes sure they reach that goal. So that's why this is really important to me, and this is something I picked up from that. And the reason I have you get 2 pieces of paper is when I tell you to write down the goal, I'm going to want you to write it on both pieces of paper. And this is something else I learned from him, because it's good that you can write a goal and you can write it down, but it's really important that you are held accountable, especially in your future. You're going to have to hold yourself accountable for a lot more things. So what we did was, I'm going to have you write down the goal for yourself, and then I want you to give it to an advisor, a friend, or a parent, someone that you can talk to, meet up with once a week or once a month, depending on what your goal is. And make sure you guys can talk about that, talk about how far you've come with your goal and what else you need to do and what you need help with, or just anything pertaining to that goal. So right now I'll have you just take a minute, write down a goal, and then if you need more time, just pause it, but I'll give you a couple seconds to do so. Okay, so you should have your goal written down by now, and if not, just go back, pause the video, and then come back to this part. But I wanted to share with you a goal that I have right now, and a goal that I kind of started my freshman year, and it's more of a long-term goal that I'm still working on. So I play a lot of volleyball, and one of my goals is to play volleyball in college. So my freshman year, pretty much, I couldn't really work too hard at that goal except for getting better in practices and games. But now the goal as I've gotten closer to reaching that goal, now I'm at the time of my life where I need to start the recruiting process, talking to college coaches, and making sure I'm getting all my film and everything like that done. So for me, I wrote that goal down my freshman year, and it's something that I've kept on my nightstand since then. And I also think that's another thing that's important, is that you can keep your goal somewhere where you're going to see it and be reminded of it every day. So for that goal, I used the SMART goal system. And as I'm kind of explaining how I used it, you can still be mentally just going through this checklist, and I would differentiate kind of how you interpret this stuff and how I'm interpreting these words, because that's something you can make unique to your own goal and your own situation. But with mine, for specific, I like to think about this as what my goal is, why that's my goal, and when I want to get that goal done. So for volleyball, that goal, my exact goal is to play in college and find the level that I'm best fit for. And why I do that, that's just something I'm passionate about, and that's my why is really important, and it's really important that you guys find your why for whatever goal you're setting. Just because whenever I'm struggling or I kind of feel unmotivated, I would always look back at my why, and that would kind of re-inspire me and make me remember why I was reaching for that goal. And then when I think of measurable and attainable, I think they're very similar, but I find them to be different because I look to measurable when I think about that. I'm thinking more, how can I reach this goal? When can I reach this goal? And what do I need to reach this goal? And when I think of attainable, it's more, is this something I can do? Can I reach this goal right now? So for measurable, I knew when I made this goal that I didn't want to obviously achieve it my freshman year. I knew this was something that was going to be further out, and I had to talk to a lot of people to figure out exactly what I needed to do, how I needed to do it, and when I needed to start doing those steps. And for attainable, I knew that and this is for any goal, I knew obviously at that point in my life, I didn't know exactly what I could reach with that goal, but as I've gotten further into the process of achieving this goal, I've been able to see what level of volleyball is attainable for me to play at. And that's something that's important when you're choosing a college. You have to know, okay, is a junior college where I should start? Should I go to tech school? Is a 4-year college better for me? So that's where attainable plays a very big role in setting your goal and achieving it. And then I think relevant kind of ties into what I was saying at the end of attainable, because you have to know, like for instance with my goal, it's not very relevant for me to send my film to Stanford and think that I'm going to get on that team. But I know I can look at some junior colleges or some D2 colleges, and that's something that I can reach. And again, just when you're choosing colleges or you're setting goals for clubs that you're in or contests that you're participating in, you have to know what a real goal is for that time. And then that's when you can start progressing. So say you want to just be in the top 5 of something one year. The next year, shoot for the top 4, and then eventually you can aim to win that contest or win that event. And then time-based. And time-based can kind of be looked at a couple different ways. So the first way I think of it is there's the long-term goal and the short-term goal. So obviously my example for my goal, it's a long-term goal. It's gonna start in my freshman year, gonna end my senior year. That's 4 years of kind of tweaking some of my thoughts on it and kind of stuff like that. But your short-term goal, you set it, and for my example of a short-term goal that I have is that I play on my high school volleyball team, and I think we could go to state this year. So in August, we met as a team, we decided our goals, and one of our goals is to go to state. So that's something we have to work for and try to achieve within a couple of months, and it's not spread out over very long. So we have to stay motivated and we have to put in that work right now. But to kind of wrap this up, I would just really encourage you to go out and find a system that works for you. If this is the one that's going to help you achieve your goals, that's great. But I encourage you to go look for other ones or try things out. Don't be afraid to use this for something, and if you find yourself kind of not able to stay motivated or this is helping you, go online and look for another one and try that out. And then that's when you can really be communicating with the person that you shared your goal with, just so they can kind of see, well, maybe this isn't working for you. And especially if you used an adult, they'll be able to kind of help guide you and help you find a system that works for you. But I want to thank all of you guys for joining in. I hope this helped. And if you look at my slide earlier in this presentation, there's an email for me. So if you have any questions about this or ever have any questions about anything going on in the district, you can email me or any of the other officers. And I hope you guys have a good Green Hand Conference. Thank you.